Storms are coming in. I'm excited, folks. There are carp all over this. There's probably, for some reason, it seems like every carp in this lake is down in this one particular cove right now. I don't know why. Yep, there's some storms coming in, folks. I can hear the thunder off in the distance. It's coming from that way. Let me get some corn on the hook out here and get a worm out here. See if I can catch some bluegills, some catfish for you guys. Hope you guys enjoy the show today. Welcome back to MBPFishing. Yes, sir. Welcome back in. Yep, our tablet's working a little bit better today. It's not quite as hot. And with the shaded locations down here, I think we'll be okay as far as it overheating. I did turn it on. It's not acting up, so I think that's a very good sign. All right, we've got our little 8-pound test out here. See if we can get some big old carpies. There are some hitting out here. Yep, there's another one just jumped right on the other side of you. Right top of the tree. There's another one jump. Yeah, they are making a racket out here right now. There's a number of them jumping out here in the middle of the lake. Some jumping over here in the reeds. It might be their it might be attempting to spawn again. I don't know, but we do have a popper on. I might switch this over to weightless corn here. See here, there's a lot of carp. I'd like to hook one of these big guys. Yeah, there's some jumping out here, 15, 20 pounds. Let me take a cast with the popper too right here. See if there's any bass or anything around here before I get a worm on. Hope you guys enjoy the show. And more thunder off in the distance over there. Yeah, we do have a bobber and a worm hook rigged up. Just got to put a bobber on. Got to put a worm on there. Yeah, this is the perfect vantage point for this location, folks. We're close enough to these reeds where we can draw these carp out on the left side of the and the right side. I'm sure they're working through this algae and grass. Yeah, there's a man. That was a big one. That was a carp right there, folks. I think I'm missing out right now, not putting corn on both rods. And if I put it on my other rod, I'll have to put a bigger hook on. I don't think I can land her on that little micro hook I used for bluegill on that smaller rod. And we got some impending storms coming in, folks. It's over here to the left, behind you guys. She's coming in. I think we'll take one more cast with this one and we figure something else out here. This is a pretty good line on this one. This is new 6-pound test. If I put corn on this one, and I do get a big carp, I should be able to land it on this. Look at that popper, just works right that edge. That's so dangerous. Yeah, it was just an idea to cast that for a minute. All right. Let's see. I could put. Oh, there's a bite on. Man. Dang it. Ooh, that was doubling it. Man, I just set the hook on that. I missed it. There's a lot of bubbles over here right now, folks. There's some big carp. I'm excited, folks. I am excited. It's been a while since I've seen these guys concentrated in one location. There's another one. They're right by the bank. Yeah, more thunder off in the distance. Ooh, that not sound good. But we are like, what, 5 seconds from a protected zone. They do have the bathrooms open right now, folks, so I can get in the bathroom if it gets real bad. We're gonna fish. Gee, dang good. Yeah, this is my little fluger, my little 6'2" medium action, medium to heavy. I probably should leave that bail open. Oh, check them out. Hear them over there, folks? I'm sure you can hear them jumping. All right, I don't know if I want to get a second rod out here for carp or not. Probably should. Let me get onto the chat and see what's going on. Hope you guys enjoy the show today. Man, there are some big carp hitting right now, folks. All right. Let's see, 15 incredible people in, seeing 10 thumbs up. Awesome, folks. And our signal looks okay. I was a little worried about getting by these power lines, but it looks like it's okay. Amaris, how you doing, Davis? Davis says, good morning, MBP. Good morning to you, my friend. That's Ian Honeycutt. How you doing today, Honeycutt? Honeycutt says hi. And Carly. Carly says hi, Mike. How you guys doing today? Davis says, good morning, everyone. Hit that thumbs up. It's Ian Radio. How you doing today, Radio? Radio says, hey, Mike, good afternoon. Hope you're having a good day and successful fishing adventure. We just got started, but there's some big carp over here. Yeah, there's some big ones. I might have to put some weightless corn on out here because they do not seem to want to pick up that, even that 1/8 ounce. That 1/8 ounce lead head. That's very easy to rig up, folks. I can do that in a heartbeat here. All I need to do is get this one, take this one off, and put a new hook on that. Yeah, these guys are everywhere, folks. I'm excited. Been a while since I've seen these carp doing this down here in this cove. I wonder if they might have someone might have chummed this recently. Yeah, I'm gonna put a weightless thing of corn on my lighter rod here too. I'm gonna put a bigger hook on it, of course. That way I can make sure that I'm not gonna bend the hook out. Now landing it, that's gonna be a trick and a half. But 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Hole, stick the hole. Missed the hole. Now, that's one trouble. I always miss that hole there. Got it that time. Tighten, let and pull. Oh, what I do with mine? I can't. I'll just use my lighter. Let's see if I made sure that was okay. I don't want to damage that line. It feels good. All right, this one's just going to be put weightless out here right by the bank. This is going to be put right over here to the right. I do have worms, folks. We're going to be fishing here for bluegill and other things. Hopefully I don't hook a big carp on the worm while I'm messing around by the bank. That can be frustrating. You got corn and other baits around. Another one. Saw that one jump, folks. I'm sure you saw that one in the background. That was about 7 or 8 pounds. Nice carp. There he goes again. Dang thing, I need to throw some more corn out here. Get these guys in here feeding. Get them concentrated over here rather than spread out across the lake. All right, that is a dang good little thing of corn. Question is, what do I put for a stick here? The real good sticks. That'll work, I guess. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be high enough to keep that rod tip. Sinker. Alright, this one's just going to be thrown right by the bank. These guys are in here pretty close. That's weightless, folks, so that drag is going to feel. And something hit this one, so let me check her, folks, before I get back to that cast. And it looks like something got the lower part of the corn off. I might be doing this one wrong. I probably should just take the weight off and cast it out here weightless, which is actually what I'm going to do. I can cast this one pretty good. I'm just going to take the weight off. This fluger I should still be able to cast relatively good, even just with the weight of the corn. Now, I do have a wind block on you, folks. It's about 75, 80 degrees. Temperature's going up fast, actually. We've got some storm fronts moving in. Got some thunder off in the background. Helicopter. Helicopter, helicopter. Literally, there's a helicopter. Over there. Yeah, they chasing somebody. There were some shots earlier. Way off in the distance. Come on, you stupid. Fine, go through the hook. Don't go through. Crap. Oh, there's a... I bet you heard that. Something popped her. Right, that is back. That's just going to be weightless out there as well. I think that's going to be our best bet for getting these guys. I heard that drag go. Alright, that is pretty much just a weightless, just like the other one, except this one's got a little swivel on it. Give it just a tiny bit of weight. So I can get that out there just a little bit further. Alright, that was pretty good, folks. Drag set very loose. Now I want to check that other rod. Got a peck on it. I need to check you guys' chat. Johnny Lamb, what's going on? How you doing today, Johnny Lamb? Johnny Lamb says MVP. Radio says, hey, MVP, good afternoon. Hope you're having a great and successful day. Oh, another one. Big old carp. Carly says, morning all. Johnny Lamb says, where are you at? We're at Fairgrounds Park in St. Louis, Missouri, my friend. Another one. Man, these guys are just jumping left and right out here right now. I need to get some more bait in the water. Get a line of bait out there for every guy to follow. That's cheap corn. That's my last 59 cents, folks. Literally my last 59 cents. Oh, that was a... Dang it, look at that. He had it way over there, folks. Man. I didn't realize that fish had its mouth. Ooh, that's going to be That's going to be fun, folks, on this lighter line. This is 6-pound test, but it's brand new 6-pound test. I just changed it last night. Another one jumping over there, making a ruckus in the reeds over there. There's a tremendous amount of carp in this back cove for some reason. It's a little late for them to be wanting to spawn, but still, I'm not a carp. I'm not a carp, folks, so I don't know what. I just got to remember the drags we set through. All right. One set. That one needs to be a little bit tight, not too much. Gonna be out of that muck right by the bank. If I move that, I gotta reel that in. I had to reel that in, folks. I moved it. There's some big old carp working up and down this shoreline, folks. I see 28 people in, seeing 22 thumbs up. Awesome, folks. Malik, what's going on? How you doing, Malik? Malik says, low on bait, but Mike still will catch the fish. Hey, got corn and got a few worms. That's all I need. Let's see, Fun Mix, Malik says Johnny Lamb. Let's see, Johnny Lamb says FMT. Let's see, PA Outdoors. How you doing today, PA? PA says, cheers, Mike. Malik says the carp are in spawn. That's why they're jumping, Mike. No. You had to tell me that. Gross, dude. That's just like, seriously, now I gotta like, ugh. Chris says, good luck, Mike. Shared your live. Awesome, my friend. Thank you, Chris. I actually don't get that many shares. You see, Darius, what's going on? How you doing today, Darius? Darius says hi. Alex says Chris. Darius says, much love from Alabama, my guy. Awesome, my friend. We're in St. Louis, Missouri. Flaba's number 22. Flaba says hi. Radio with retracted message. Chris says Dave. Chris says radio. Alex says the rod's getting bites. Yep, I'm watching them. They're weightless out there. I can't do take out any more weight than this. Let's see, Flava says Chris. Let's see, far rod's getting bites. I should have, you're right about that one. I should have set the hook on that one. Let's see, Care, what's going on? How you doing, Care? Care Glazy says, LOL now. Another one jump. Man, and some big guys. See, Malik says, this small rod's getting bites. Yep, I see it, folks. I definitely see it. Tell you what, let me flip a worm out here, see if we can get a bluegill or something. I don't have many worms. I only have like 30 worms. See if we can catch it. Oh. Got him, folks. Town cat. Not a carp, but this is a fish. Hey, a little meow meow. Hi, kitten. Hi, buddy. First fish of the day, though. I'll take it. I will take it, my friends. First fish of the day. No skunk on the feed. These guys are a little tricky to get around sometimes. But boy, they're gorgeous. That's not actually a kitten. That's keeper size, but barely. Hope you guys enjoy the show today. Yeah, there's some massive carp out here, folks. I'm sure I'm going to get them drawed in here eventually. Beautiful channel cat, my friends. Gotta love it. Oh, little stinker. Man, he's active. I fed him too much. Beautiful fish, folks. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. All right, buddy. Let's see where you got that hook. See if I can get it out or not, or maybe I have to Yeah. Yeah, right on this time. Got it out. No muss, no fuss, no blood. Ow! Dang it. I'm letting you go, buddy. Sheesh. See you, buddy. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Appreciated. Yeah, there's storms all over right now, folks. That's our first fish, though. And this one's going slack completely. Like something picked it up and ran in with it. No? Okay. This has got a little bit more weight on it. I'm casting that out just a little bit further than the other ones. Tell you what, I'm going to go behind you guys. You can't see this, but there's a big old thing of reeds. Well, let me show you. Let me show you this real quick. See this? There's a big old thing of reeds right behind us. And there's a massive amount of carp just playing havoc back there. You know what they're doing. I ain't going to say it, but I'm going to throw some corn over here and try to draw these guys. Try to draw these guys over to me. All right, that looks pretty dang good. All right, be right back. I'm just going to throw a little bit of corn in here. Get a line of corn going to where these guys, they will follow something like that. They will. Carp have got very good senses of smell. Sense of smell. It's almost like a sixth sense to them. They can find bait dang near anywhere. This water's pretty warm. It's probably in the upper 80s, so these guys will that scent is going to be traveling quite a distance. Now back here in the reeds, it's probably only maybe 65, 70 degrees back in the reeds. That stuff keeps shaded, it gets cool. I haven't got to try a worm yet, folks. I was about ready to put one on so I can make sure I didn't get a skunk, but already caught a channel catfish about a pound. Yeah, I'll go a pound on that one barely, just because he had like a quarter of a pound of corn in his belly. Piglet. That's why you throw so much of that chum in, folks, because 90% of it in these public lakes like this will get eaten pretty quick. All right, that looks pretty good. It's one of my little tricks, folks. You know how carp are pretty tricky about getting them to hit corn, right? Well, look at that. That is a lot of corn in one spot. And he'll pick that up, and if he gets that side of the hook, I get him. If he gets that side of the hook, I don't. So it's a toss-up. But this way, you can get him to hit it. Kiss you with that. All right, that drag is loose. Something takes off on that big time, he's gonna peel our drag. Put a little sucker on there. Back it up. Alright, that looks good, folks. Here, garbage. Somebody else pick up that crap. See Nicole, what's going on? How you doing, Nicole? Nicole says hello. Let's see, Malik says that small rock keeps getting bites. Yeah, I noticed. Let's see, Chris says, welcome in. Please keep the chat in English. English if you can. Emojis are fine. Let's see, Flavor with 100. Awesome, my friend. 100 jewels. Thank you very much, my friend. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Chris says, Nicole, good to see you. Nicole says hello, Chris. Chris says, nice kitty cat. Let's see, Malik says Nicole. Let's see, Radio says a reminder to everyone in the chat, Post in English. Yes, if you can't, emojis are fine. Let's see. Big boy, how you doing today, big boy? Big boy Rail says, hi, brother. MVP, how are you doing? We got some impending storms coming in. Humidity's up a lot. These carp are making a ruckus down here in this corner. Chris says, carp love those plants. Oh, yeah, they do. They love to hide in them. They love to chew on them, eat them. Yeah, it's just a delicacy for them. Carly says, hey, Malik. Chris says, Carly. Chris says, big boy. Carly says, Chris. Carly says, Dave. Let's see, big boy says, what's up, y'all? How are you? Let's see, big boy says, I found the doctor. I found out from the doctor I got pneumonia. Sorry. I'm sorry to hear that, big boy. I am sorry about that, my friend. I hope you get well soon, buddy. Arnold says, how is everyone? Carly says, hey, BB Rails. Carly says, hi, Nicole. Chris says, Arnold. Carly says, Arnold. Let's see, Malik says, Carly. Carly says, Malik. Chris says, yep, one catfish. You got it, my friend. And Spawn, how you doing today, Spawn? Spawn says, hello from Hungary. Good grip. See, Chris says, way to go, brother. Spawn says, hi, Chris. I gotta bring it by. Yeah, there's another big carp in here right by the bank. That might be casting out some more. Yeah, these guys are in here right by the bank. I might be casting out too far. Spawn says, hi, Chris. Carly says, but nice. Big boy says, thank you. I appreciate that, Mike. You're very welcome. I hope you do get better fast, big boy. Let me make sure to pin that, Chris. There you go. Yeah, I haven't got to get a worm on yet, folks. And Lucy, what's going on? How you doing today, Lucy? Lucy says good morning. Good morning with the unicorn emojis, the heart emojis, and the rainbow emojis. And Russ. How you doing today, Russ? Carly says hi, Russ. Says Lucy. Russ says Carly. See, Lucy says I'm doing wonderful. Russ says, sup, Mike? How you doing today, my friend? That's another big bite on that corn. Man, it's just a matter of time before one of these carp pick this up. And I'm not trout fishing, folks. I keep forgetting. I want to reel the corn in slow. I've been doing that for years. That only works for trout. Yeah, carp don't chase the bait in. Yeah, this is weightless out here, folks, so that's basically just going to sit there. Oh, dang it. I keep forgetting the bail's slack. What do we got this time, folks? Hey, another channel catfish. Yeah, that's a little bigger. Got him, buddy. Number 2. Yeah, these guys are going to be a little tough to get around, but heck, if you're having trouble catching the carp and, because the catfish are in the way, I mean, these size of catfish, I'll take them any day of the week. Awesome, my friends. Gotta love it. That's our second channel of the day. Beautiful catfish. That's over a pound there. That's about 1.25 pounds. So if you wanted to get that, that's like catfish nugget, catfish nugget, catfish nugget, catfish nugget. There's a bite on the other rod. I saw that. Look at this guy and get him back in the water. There we go, folks. Got him. See you, bud. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it. Something was pulling on that good. Wish I'd have been over to buy that. Man. See what he did to it. He was picking up and running with it. Looks like he tore some of the bottom corn off. That was probably a carp, but he grabbed it right in the middle of the corn rather than the sides. Another one jumps. It's getting closer, folks. That's only about 15, 20 feet away. That was right out there about where I'm casting. Yeah, these carp are starting to follow this bait. Because that scent, that wind is pushing that scent in this direction, right? So all the carp over here are smelling that corn, and they're going to come a running. Or swimming, as they don't actually have feet, they have. I was in really close, if I remember. I dropped that in very close to the bank. I haven't gotten a chance to get our worm rod out yet, folks. I haven't gotten a chance to fish bluegill yet. And there goes our friendly egret. Flying over the top. Picked it up. Right on the tip of that. Man, that fish is getting closer. That fish went about 7 or 8 feet from me, folks. Right on the edge of those reeds. He's sticking his head out there going, I smell something good. Yeah, I usually don't fish for carp in this lake because they're kind of spread out across the lake the majority of the time. This lake is pretty big. When they're stacked up in these corners, man, I'm so glad I grabbed a can of corn. Ah, crap. That was nice, Michael. Bail didn't click over on me. Some stupid. The bail was clicked over, but it didn't go out. Another big one, way out in the middle of the lake. These guys are just having a ruckus in this side of the lake right now. Corn. I just tore the heck out of that corn. I'm trying to save some of it. Yeah, it's mostly cloudy, folks, but these storms are kind of, they're bringing in some changing. So the clouds are breaking up and starting, and that sucks, Michael. Man, that sucks. Why did that suck so bad? I don't know. There we go. That's just weightless out there, folks. It's one of my oldest techniques for fishing for carp. These guys are used to people using weights. Now you take all the weight off, and they all of a sudden start hitting a little better. In fact, everything starts hitting better. I got to get a worm on, folks. I haven't caught a bluegill yet. These guys haven't given me the opportunity to get a friggin' worm on. I did dig about 30 little red worms. I figured 30 would be enough to fish fairgrounds. I didn't know the carp would be doing this back here. Alright, that looks pretty good. Let's see if we can get a little bluegill or something over here right now. A little bluegill, a little crappie, who knows. On the tip. I got my eye on them lines. Now those lines are slack, so you don't really watch the right, I should probably put one on this one too. I don't have the right bobber on. Way too deep. It's apparent. I'm already nipped the end of the worm off. Sheesh. I didn't even see a bite. Yeah, I think these carp are moving in here, folks. Those little channel all of a sudden stop. These are stocker channel catfish, so they're not familiar with what carp are. They don't realize that that big carp ain't gonna hurt them. They just see something massive, like 20 times the size of them, and they go, uh-oh. I better get back into get out of here. This might try to eat me. They don't know that carp's not gonna hurt them. Another one. Man, these guys are just everywhere right now, folks. Big bass. Probably put a hook on my bobber. Bass down here, they do like to pulverize the bobber with working with worm. I can't remember the amount of times I've had like a 4 or 5 pound largemouth come up and obliterate my bobber and take it down. That bass will hold on to that bobber too. You can let it go. Try to hold it. When the worm don't work, I'm just going to put a bigger hook on this one and put some corn on it. Corn and the bobber out here rips that out there overly deep. Another one, that was way on the other side now. We got more anglers fishing out here, but it looks like they're fishing catfish style, as in 2 to 4 ounces of weight cast out in the middle of the lake. Not actually the best technique for catching these. It works okay for the catfish. Everything else. I'm trying to get a stick so I can put that on it. Obviously, it's going to work. All the garbage and stuff down here left around, and they take the sticks away. They leave the garbage and take all the sticks. Hang on, folks. I'm going to repress these these corn rods here before I come check that chat. I grabbed the only wet stick down here. All right, that should work. That's interesting, folks, putting a worm out there and nothing's touching it. It's hot out here right now, folks. It's humid. We got some storms. You can see it doesn't look good. It's actually pretty deep. If I didn't have a way to get out of a bad storm, I wouldn't be in this stuff right now. Behind you guys, it looks pretty funky. Come on, carp. I do have some bread too, folks. I could put on some bread. Well, if I hook one over here, I was meaning to try not to get too close to those reeds. Because if I get one over here, I might not be able to get them out. This is decent line. This is 8-pound test on this rod. Step out the way. All right, folks, let's come back and check that chat. Hope you guys are enjoying the show. Interesting, I'm not getting any bluegill bites in here. Like something's spooking their butts. All right, let's see what's going on in chat. Let's see, Chris says Rusk. Chris says, nice one, Mike. Big boy says, thank you, sir. Let's see, Chris says, yep, 2 catfish. Let me make sure to pin that. Let's see, Care Bear, what's going on? How you doing today, Care Bear? Appreciate you coming in, my friend. Chris says, sup, Mike? Let's see, Care Bear says hi. Chris says, Care Bear. Care Bear says, Krista. Trilene. Eileen. This Chris says, BRB dinner time. Let's see, JL Fishing. How you doing today, JL Fishing? JL Fishing says hi. 24 incredible people in. It's seeing 36 thumbs up. Awesome, folks. You guys are enjoying the show today. I hope you're having an awesome day. We're going to leave that right smack dab right there. I'm not sure why I can't get a bite on worm over here. There's a bite on horn. Picked it up. He was running with it. He picked it up. See what he did to it. Nothing. Oh. That's another thing carp, as opposed to catfish and bluegill, will do. They can pick up a piece of corn and not even bother it. They got little suction soft mouths. Really just want to go over here by these reeds, but it seems like that's where they want to be, so get in there close to it. Interesting, I'm not getting any small bluegill right now here on the bottom either for corn. That's usually one problem I have using corn in these lakes is I get torn to pieces by the bluegill. I could probably get that out a little bit further, but I'm not sure if I need to. Look at that, folks, sitting there with a worm right by the bank. Nothing's touching it. That rod's too far down, I can't see her. Usually with me, with this little like ultralight techniques I use, it doesn't really matter if the carp is spawning or not. They don't really care. They have breaks in between their spawning cycles. They'll go over there, grab a worm and a worm or a couple pieces of corn or something. Go back to doing their thing. I do have a little weighty jig head on. I wonder if that's stopping the bluegill from hitting. Just put it on because of the the way that wind's blowing. I thought that little weighty jig head would slow it down a little bit in the wind. Probably the wrong idea. Probably should put it on a single hook. Another one. More thunder over there. Yeah, they said by 2 o'clock it's supposed to start pouring down rain. So let's find out about that. 1 o'clock it's supposed to start, and 2 o'clock it's supposed to be like pouring down. That is interesting why I'm casting a worm out there, not even getting a bite. I wonder if that's because the casting, like the casting. That's just drift fishing out there, folks. It usually gets some type of bluegill or something. Bluegill, catfish, something to hit it. Today it's that's interesting. I cannot see that line where it is. There it is, I think. It's hard to start seeing these bites. The wind's going to blow now. The pop, pop, pop. You see that? I was trying to keep the line tight over here, and the stinker hit it. It's not grass. Ah. Yeah, Michael. I'm kind of actually a little amazed I'm not getting any bites on worm right now. I might just be in the wrong spot or something. This is usually a ton of them. Look at that, that worm's gone. Did you guys see a bite on that? I didn't see a bite on that. Hang on, folks. I'm going to go check that chat here in a second. Having a little trouble seeing these lines. The wind's starting to blow on me. There was no wind over here a second ago. Oh, let's see. I missed that. I forgot to do that again. Okay, Fishing says I'm good. JL says I'm good. Let's see, Danny, what's going on? How are you doing today, Danny? Danny says drop the like and watching, Mike, brother. Appreciate that, Danny, my friend. Hope you're having an awesome day. Terry says Mr. B. Lucy with the unicorn emojis, the heart emojis, and the rainbow emojis. Oh, says Lucy, Danny, brother, hey. Let's see, Spunky, what's going on? How you doing today, Spunky? Spunky says hello, Mike. Let's see, Seal. See ya. How you doing today, Victor? Victor says hi. 29 people in and 40 thumbs up. Awesome, folks. I hope you guys are enjoying the show today. Something pecking on it again over here. Usually those carp will just take it and run. Feels like you got almost, look at that. Clean that corn off of this one too. Clean the bait off on it. I spent the last freaking few cents I had on a can of corn today. I'm still waiting for that code to come in the mail, folks. I am. I'm asking the mailman every day, is it here? Is it here? Is it here? Is it here? Yeah, the last step to getting paid by YouTube is a 6-digit or 3-digit code, depending upon your location. I believe it's a 3-digit code in my location. There's not that many actual monetized YouTubers in St. Louis. Now, Florida, I think it goes up to like a 6-digit code or something. Once that code comes in, I put that in AdSense, and then I can finally start getting paid fully. Now that money is being building up on YouTube. It's just I can't get it transferred until I get that code. All right, that looks good, folks. I wonder if there'd be any bluegill over here. Miss Gigi, what's going on? How you doing, Miss Gigi? Miss Gigi says hi, Mike and everyone. And Jones, how you doing today, Jones? And Rich, how you guys doing today, Rich? Rich says get 'em. Let's see, Jones says hi. Catch anything yet? We've caught 2 channel catfish, about a pound. Miss Gigi says hi, Mike and everyone. We're actually fishing for carp out here, but we'll take the catfish as well. And I am fishing with a worm over here, kind of bouncing that around, see if I can catch some bluegill, some bass, other species. And we've got some impending storms all over, folks. So there's some thunder rumbling off in that distance. And oh, that was ooh, did you see that? Man, I wish I'd have had that bail open. I'd be still hitting it too. Give me that pole again. Come on, buddy. Just give me that pole again. Man. Yeah, you know that's a carp because that corn is not even bothered and that rod was doubling. I might have to leave the bail open. They seem to get it right to the rod tip like you do trout. Let it go on me. But I might actually just have to leave the bail open. Stick. Who the heck broke this stick off and left the middle of it? Pretty much as close as I can get it over there to that them reeds underneath this tree, and I have to walk underneath the tree and get it over there. Which I could probably do. We're just going to leave the bail open here, folks, because that's the only way I'm going to be able to get these guys to hit fully. That's 2 or 3 pickups I know were carp. Wrap around the tip. Cottonseed. I wonder if there's any bluegill or stuff underneath these trees over here. That's interesting why I can't find any bluegill today. I really don't like this bobber either. I wonder if I got a better one in here. I should have a better bobber in here. I don't know what I did with my best one. See, it's not in there. And it's not in there. This lake's actually got a pretty good potential for big bass and stuff. There's my better bobber. What do you think that was? Got it, folks. What do we got? Nice bluegill. Okay. That's our first bluegill of the day. Actually, that's a long-eared. That's a nice big old long-eared, folks. Crap on the line. All right, so that's our third fish of the day, folks. That's a nice long-eared. It's about maybe 6.5, 7 inches. Won't go 7 inches. That's a little, just a hair smaller than my hand. So check out the colors on this guy. That is a beautiful, beautiful sunfish, folks. Wonderful. Gotta love it. Gotta love it, my friends. Check out the colors on that guy. Absolutely gorgeous. All right, buddy. See ya. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I was just in the wrong spot for the bluegill. I don't like this bobber. It's just, this bobber works fine with my spinning combo for casting for crappie and stuff. It just doesn't have enough weight to be casting with anything but my spinning gear. All right, that's back. Let me put another worm on here, and I'll come check that chat here just a second. You guys are enjoying the show today. Yeah, that's just a little jig head with a, he was running with it for a second. Picked it up out there. Yeah, that bail is completely open, so there's no drag on him at all. We're casting underneath this tree, so it's a little tricky. That's okay. That's okay, folks. All right, let's come check that chat, see what's going on. Crap all over the screen. What the heck? Oh yeah, I caught that on here. Kind of messed up the screen there, didn't it? Monkey says hi. Let's see. It says get 'em. Miss Gigi says Arnold. Latonya, how you doing, Latonya? There's another bite. Oh, dang it. Missed him. Crap. How you doing today, Latonya? I messed up my carp rod. Made the line go slack. Got a wing knot. Dang it. It's gonna mess up our cast. Get out of there, wing knot. Yeah. Man, that's deeper than... I hate it when I get a wing knot deeper than I cast. That means that line is loosening up on the way out. I forgot also, folks, that corn only lasts about 15-20 minutes on the hook. You have to replace it constantly. It loses its scent pretty quick. A little bit of stuff on there, grabs on the line. And this has been clean. Oh, that carp jumping, man. That's only a few feet away from my bait. I can put some bread balls on. Sometimes that bread will work better than corn. Most of the time it does, but sometimes it doesn't. I just have more trouble with the bluegill eating the bread. It's good again. That was just clean. There wasn't too much left on it. I didn't see a bite on this one. I see that one. Come on, buddy. Come on, come on, come on. Dang it. Stick. Girl up. Ooh, that one's messed up. I picked up the line and dang line. The line grabbed onto the bark on the stick. Knock some of the corn off. Yeah, I still catch fish even with a can of corn. There's a couple little baby redworms. That bobber's on up there. I don't know where that bobber is. How close I can get it to the green. That's about 3 or 4 feet. Close enough to where anything that's sitting in them reeds can smell it. Taste it, as the case may be. I'm not sure. Do fish taste or smell stuff in the water? I think it's smell. Don't quote me on that. So much stuff to do. Trying to keep up with these guys, folks. Hang on, let me get a worm back on here and I'll keep an eye on these rods. Trying my best. Cut this tree out of the way. Don't want to. That's obstructive. Man, this thing is just That's way over by the line. Get together. Why are you? You're like right there. I think that'll do. When I get back to that chat. Let's see, here we are. Let's see. Jones says nice. And Adrian, how you doing, Adrian? Adrian says MVP. MVP fishing and Supernova. How you doing, my friend? Wish I was fishing instead of behind this desk. Well, work ends eventually. My best advice is, as soon as the clock is rang, get out, get your rods, and get out fishing. Adrian says Lucy. Adrian says Chris. Let's see. Tonya says, hey, Adrian. See, Tonya says, wonderful. Thanks for asking. Good to hear, my friend. Tonya says, trying to go fishing myself later. Well, if you get out, hope you catch a monster, my friend. Jones says, do you night fish? Not usually. I live in St. Louis, Missouri, so I drive a scooter. So it's not a great idea to be driving an electric scooter at night. It's just, yep. Now, if I get a ride, I'll fish at night. No worries. Let's see, Rennie, what's going on? How you doing, Rennie? Not sure what that says, but let's see. Sarah, how you doing, Sarah? Sarah says, don't want to mess up your bit. No worries, Sarah. Thank you for coming in, my friend. Dude, that helicopter is like right over my head. Go away, helicopter. Whoever you're after, they're not here. Yeah, they got that heat vision stuff on me over here. I'm not who you're looking for. Go away. You're messing up my audio, you stupid helicopter. Let's see, 23 incredible people in the team. 54 thumbs up. Awesome post. Lead off again. Guys, just top the bottom of that corner, knock 3 or 4 pounds off, and then let it go. I know who this stupid helicopter is after, but I wish it'd go away. When they lose track of someone down here in the city, they'll suddenly lock onto someone. Like, oh, there's a human being over there. Let's lock onto him and go around in circles for 30 minutes around him. Go find your target. I'm not your target. I'm fishing. I like to have these rods get further down by the water. This is further down, actually. Might be one of the problems I'm having with these guys. They're feeling the rods. There's some big carp and stuff working down here. We've already caught 2 nice channel catfish and a pretty good long-eared sunfish. You're fine, Sarah. Everyone's welcome in chat, my friend. Just abide by YouTube policies and you're good to go. YouTube policies are basically just like common courtesies. You know what I mean? Almost no one has difficulty with that stuff in chat. And that worm is still on there. Put another one on. Dug only one night crawl. I didn't really feel like digging 30 night crawls to go down in the river. So I thought I'd check out the lake, and the lake's got a whole bunch of big carp and stuff jumping out here. It's just I had a few pickups I know were carp because they picked up that corn and it didn't bother it. There was no marks on that corn. Even a bluegill, when it grabs onto that corn, usually will tear it up a little bit. Let's see what's going on in chat. See, Spunky set the flower emoji, the flower jewels. Awesome, my friend. Thank you so much for that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And Ranyo, what's going on? How you doing today, Ranyo? Ranyo says hello, everyone. And Jones. Jones says, so fish like corn. Yeah, they definitely do. Channel catfish, buffalo carp, channel catfish, buffalo, common carp, grass carp, blue cat channel, bluegill, even sturgeon. They love corn. My biggest pallet sturgeon I got down on the river was like 25 pounds, and now they only get to be about maybe 30 pounds. 30, 35 pounds, in fact. I think the state record's like 50 or something, but that's probably years ago. That was on corn. Now my biggest lake sturgeon was actually on cut bait. So. Sturgeon are just, they're scavengers. They like bouncing around and seeing what they can find. Yeah, carp primarily in these local ponds and lakes, they hit, well, they eat pretty much moss and algae around the edges, and corn's vegetables, so. Let's see, Monster, what's going on? How you doing, my friend? Let's see, Rania says, hey there, Spunky. Rania says, Monster, yo. Come on, buddies. I know you're still here. Man, those guys are jumping left and right over here. I wonder what happened. If they don't want to hit worm, I wonder if like a interesting. They don't want to hit worm. I wonder if just like an artificial. This is a jig head. I could put like a crappie mat jig on or something. That's why I'm always messing with my my smaller rod here, trying to see if what else I can catch while I'm fishing for whatever main species of fish I'm fishing. Helicopter, not Already the worm on. Hope you guys are enjoying the show today. And there's some big carp jumping left and right over here. That's in the bite on the smaller rod. Hop, hop, hop. Used to take it all the way. Not sending a corn up the hook. Get any off of it, it's not good. Guys, look at that, the bait's on. Seriously, how do I keep losing that worm that quick? I don't even see a bite. I gotta get a better hook on this thing. Yeah, this jig head, I just can't see a bite on it. They're hitting it. I gotta put a small hook on here. I didn't want to put a small hook on because I saw all those carp and stuff hitting. I was kind of scared that a big old carp or something would hit that line like we had the last trip we were down here and wind up missing this dang thing because the hook's too small. Find a good hook. Just got a stupid line off here. See that? Those storms coming, folks? It's coming that way. See over there? Feeling it. Dang it. That's corn fell off. Perfect. Yeah, that sucker, he was peeling that line, folks. I saw that line peeling from over here. I actually heard it. It was peeling off that spool so fast. Why do I keep forgetting to set my spot in chat? I guess I'm preoccupied with the stupid helicopter. It keeps going overhead every 5 or 8 seconds. Literally, this helicopter's been circling me for the last freaking 30 minutes. Don't know why, but I wish it would stop. Ranyo says, Monster. Monster says, Ranyo says, yo. Awesome, folks. 17 people in and 61 thumbs up. Wormy is a little small, actually. Another one on. Watch me hook the the carp on worm again. More thunder off in the distance, folks. I can hear it. And the temperature just dropped again. Got him, folks. Got him. What do I got? Dang thing popped off. Man. That felt good, too. Yeah, they're just picking it up and running with it and spitting it out in a second or two after they've gotten a couple kernels of corn off. Well, that time I tried to pick it up real quick and set the hook and it missed it. Close one, though, folks. I almost had him. Barely even covered the hook. This is a number 10. 8 hole, not that big. Quite small, in fact. I've got these holes in my face up here, so I'm trying to get the best cast I can. Gotta step out in the muck. That's a terrible cast. fish are hitting like 3 or 4 feet past one feet. Yeah. Oh, try to turn that stick a little bit so it stops sticking on the stupid thing and the V part broke. I know my bobber drifted all the way into the bank down here. Let's refresh this one. It doesn't touch that one. Still on there. Not it. Ooh, that's some loud stuff over there. Some thunder. Alright, both rods are set again, folks. Again, I forgot to set. He says I'm doing good. He says good luck. Abby says hi. See, Bambi says howdy. How you doing today, Bambi? He says how do y'all? How's the fishing? Okay right now. 2 nice channel catfish and a nice long-eared sunfish. And you two 1818. You're holding a whiting rod. The storms are over there right now, so I'm not too worried about it yet. But I'm keeping my eye out. By the way, there are 50-foot tall whites over here that'll get hit way before I do. And they're grounded. Knocked me on my butt though from the lot, from the noise. There is a bathroom over here to where I can get out of the bad stuff if it gets really bad. Bambi says hi, Abby. Abby says I'm doing good. Bambi says good. And Joan says HCI. Bambi says hi, I think. Abby says I got a Boeing sticker. Awesome, my friend. See Emro. How you doing, Emro? Emro, so good afternoon, everyone, MVP. Hope you're having a great day. Having a pretty good day. Caught 2 nice channel catfish and a long-eared sunfish so far. Trying to see if I can get co-works any of these big carp to hitting. They're jumping left and right. It's just being a little bit of a nuisance getting them to hit. Abby says yes. Abby says awesome. Is that a fish, Abby? Abby says I went fishing last night. Abby says awesome. Abby says dark clouds are coming. Yeah, I see them. I am keeping my eyes out. They said 2 o'clock would be around the time you'd have to worry about that stuff coming in. I'm definitely keeping my eyes peeled, folks. I've been hit by lightning once in my life. I don't want to get hit by lightning again. And that worm's clean. I wasn't even watching it. That worm got cleaned over there. Yeah, we are keeping our eyes peeled, folks. We're not being dumb about this. We'll fish for as long as we can. Said I've been hit by lightning once in my life. I don't want to get hit by lightning again. No joke, folks. The keys in my change in my pocket melted. Yeah, that explains a lot about me, right, folks? Woo! Like, why is he so like that? Well, I got hit by lightning. Jumping in those reeds behind us over there. He's still over there. I'm amazed there's not more bluegill over here in this spot. It must just be too open for people to cast nets. Bluegill don't want to come back here. This is an open shoreline. People can step out of their car and take a cast with the net. But then again, they can only get like 4 or 5 feet out, so this kind of makes sense. When I was casting out there deeper, I was getting bites. You don't want to come into the shallows during the day. Bullfrog, getting there, bullfrog season, folks. Just another month and a little over a month. Keeping an eye on these lines, folks. Watching those tips of those very tip of the where the line hits the water. If you keep a lock on that and you remember where it is per rod, every time you take a new cast, you can fish this technique's weightless. That bail's clicked over completely. It's something. You already have one taker and just peel her out. Incredible. I'm casting a worm out there and not getting torn up by bluegill. Guys, I know you're here. Yeah, that's looking bad over there, folks. That is coming pretty quick, too. But we're gonna fish for as long as we can, folks. But I'm not gonna risk getting out some super bad stuff. This worm has been bitten in half. chewed up. I didn't even see it bite. Just get another worm on here. I'll cast this out here, leave it for a minute, let her drift. I come back and check that chat. Another one jumped way on the other side of the lake over there that time. Storms are coming, folks. That's the name of the video. You can definitely see them over there. I wasn't kidding. You check St. Louis radar, you're going to see that stuff coming in. Man, the humidity just went up big time. Friggin' wind almost stopped. That's not a good sign, folks. Usually when this stuff will start coming down is when you can bait up the spot for anything but rainbow trout in Missouri waters. So carp fishing, cat fishing alike, you can chum. Nothing illegal about it. Yikes, that stuff was bad. That does not look good, folks. Yeah, we're going to fish for as long as we can, but stuff does not look good. The only way I've really found to be able to catch these carp in these small urban type carp. It's weightless form. Now again, stupid little things that go down deeper than I cast. That wing knot forms because the line wraps in on itself when you're reeling it in. Now, if you how can it be deeper than the line goes? That don't make no sense. Storms are coming in, folks. You can see them over there. And they are steady getting closer and closer. I've had at least one hook today. I have. The last one definitely felt like a carp. I was off angle on him when I got the bite. I fished the bluegill over there. The stinker. Good. Where's that line? Man, I just tightened that line. Come on. You can let it rod. Butterfly. Alright, risk it for the biscuit, folks. I'm gonna refresh this stuff and I'm gonna walk here behind you guys, take a cast as close as I can to the tree. Bring her back over here underneath the tree. I know those guys have got to be sticking their nose out from underneath those reeds by now. About maybe an inch or two of the edge of those reeds. I'm gonna bring this right over back over here with you guys. It's not that far out, definitely, but pretty close in on that stuff. And this line is blew that stuff. One minute the wind blows, next minute don't. Pick up your daggone mind. Can't compensate. Alright, let's go check that chat, see what's going on. 12 people in, 68 thumbs up, awesome folks. Let's see, yep, dark clouds are coming, Abby, I see them. See, Abby says hit that like button and subscribe. Abby says, hand-dug worms. And we've also got corn on these other rods. Oh, Colonel, sweet corn, folks. Let's see, Bambi's laughing his butt off. Her butt off. Let's see, Mike says, Mike, I think you stole all my corn. My pasta salad is like 1.5 pounds. Had like 7 pounds of corn in it. Well, you left it out, Malik. Malik says, Abby says, love the guy, you guys. He says, one fish. See, Bambi says, subbed up from Czech, you out tonight, probably. He says, awesome. Abby says, I'm at 40 subs today. Malik says, also looks like the clouds are storm clouds. Yeah, they definitely are. He says, thank you. Abby says, awesome. Abby, okay, I'm heading your way, Abby. 7 corn in, not 7 pounds of corn. Well, you said it. I'm just reading what you said, Malik. You don't know what daggone you're talking about. How the heck I'm supposed to know it? Oh man, I don't know what you tell me. That worm is go on. Part of one of those worms is gone. I had 2 little worms on there. I just don't like that over there to the right. Yeah, they're bringing in the equipment, folks. That's how bad these storms are coming. The people that work here, they're bringing all their stuff in. That's never a good sign when the people that are working here bring in all their equipment. It's never good, folks. Man, that stuff just does not look good. Where do I put this? surface, so I might be able to get a bite on it. Right underneath the tree. That fish right there. Alright, I need a drink of coffee. Get a little rundown. Hey, we did catch 3 fish. I mean, 2 nice channel catfish and a big old long-eared sunfish. My tablet go. Oh, it's way over there. Backed up in chat. Oh my God. People in, say hello. Back on here. 12 people in, 70 thumbs up. Awesome, folks. Chris says Abby. Bambi says, Chris, hey, where are you? Where you been? Let's see. Bambi says, where's Jason? He does work for a living, so he's probably working or in the middle of a storm right now. Because I believe those storms are where he's located. See, Chris says, Bambi, I've been on and off the stream. Chris says, ah, nice, Malik. Must be a heck of a building. Let's see, Ray, what's going on? How you doing, Ray? Ray says, hi, guys, and MBP. How you doing today, my friend? Bambi says, good, thank you, and blessings. See, Chris says, Mike, nice. Nice to see you supporting the Dutch Army. Huh? Let's see, Doug, what's going on? Dougie Doug, how you doing, Dougie Doug? Dougie Doug says, hi, Mike. Bambi says, hey, Ray. Looking good and green. Chris says, Ray. Chris says, hey, Doug. And a bite on the close rod. Picked it up. Open that bail. If he hits that, I want her to peel out. I've got time to get over there and get to that rod. She bounced pretty good there. Mark says, Chris says, hey, Doug. Mark says, I would love to see you fish this weekend, Chris. Sitting in a sauna tent in 38 degrees Celsius. It's 32 degrees Celsius right now in St. Louis. It's 92 degrees. Humidity's skyrocketing. But she's not supposed to stay this hot for very long. See, Doug says, Chris. And boy, that thunder, I can hear that off in the distance. Let's see, Bambi says, hi. Chris says, the Dutch soccer player wearing orange. Oh, I understand, my friend. Let's see, Malik says, do they play football today, Chris? Chris says, I wish it's 42 degrees Celsius, Malik. That's hot. That's hot. Let's see, Malik says, the humidity with the temps gotta suck. Yeah, been dry. There's a bite on worm. Just taking it down slowly. Look at that sucker. Ah, I know what that is. Freaking crawfish. Crap. Now, one good thing about our tiny hooks on our bluegill rod. Yeah, there's some massive crawfish in this lake, folks. So sometimes if you think you got a bite, turns out a crawfish is dragging you in the rocks. Dang those things. Yeesh. That does not sound good, folks. Not at all. Back. Oh, stupid crawfish dragged me into a rock. Because the bobber, it's a weightless bobber. There's no weight on the line. So that bobber sets like this. If she tips up like this, it usually means something's grabbed it. Now, if it tips and it goes down real slow and just kind of sinks, yeah, it's a crawfish that's grabbed onto it. It happens, folks. It happens. Code red Moloch. Oh, boy. Up here we are. See, Moloch says 42 days. Chris says, yes, sir. Yes, for us tonight at 1 o'clock. Got a while before she cools off, I guess. Moloch says, are you sure AMT is in Spain, Italy? Those temps. Moloch says, we're getting red temps tomorrow. And weekend over too, but it's only 32 to 36 degrees Celsius. So Ewas is lapping his butt off. Let's see, Chris says, tomorrow will be 42 again. It'll feel like between 45 and 47. Well, honestly, we've been getting hot, right, Chris? But we've actually been cooling off at night. So it got like 62 degrees last night. But it's been getting in the 90s during the day. So as long as I open my windows and suck all that cool air in from the outside. Oh, there's a bite on the spar rod. Feeling it. Feeling it. Still doing it? Man. I hate it when they do that. They'll take out about 10 or 15 feet of line, and before I can get to the rod, they spit it out. If I hadn't had that bail open, that rod would have pecked once and he'd have let go. But with the bail open, he peeled out 8 or 10 feet of line and let go before I could get to the rod. Yeah, Michael. That just does not sound good, folks. That does not sound good at all. And I don't want to quit fishing with these guys hitting. These guys as active as they are. At the same time, I don't want to get stuck in a severe thunderstorm either. Debating on whether or not I should stay, how much longer I should stay. And the bail is perfectly open. Anything that hits that line should peel out. I mean, I ain't but 3 feet away from the dang old thing. You think I could get to this sucker before they let go on me, but oh boy. Ewa says Malek. MBP, hope you're having a good day. Doug, up to something. How you doing, up to something? Up to something says, dropping in, saying hi, and dropping a like. Awesome, my friend. Hope you're having a great day. And I do appreciate that thumbs up. Bambi says, howdy, Ewas. Missed you too. Chris says, we're also cool at night. 26 degrees Celsius. Honestly, as long as it does that, I'm usually okay. And that's another bite of worm. Stinker went down and came right back up. Honestly, I can't get any bites with worm over here to the right. I figured another reason why it'd be a perfect place to set up for carp fishing, because I wasn't getting pestered by bluegill. I don't get mind getting pestered by the channel cat. It's just the bluegill will tear your corn up down in this lake too. I'm sorry you can't see the bobber. There's not quite enough room on the feed to be able to get the rods and the bobber in. Once, twice, 3 times, no, 5 times. It's wrapped in every direction it could have wrapped. There comes the wind blowing again. I wish just one of these carp would hook themselves. Usually what happens, eventually one just grabs it and gets a hook in it by accident. These guys are being sneaky today. They're picking it up, running a foot or two, and then just dropping it. That last one ran about 10 feet really fast. Still let go. All right, let's get back into that chat, see what's going on. See, Bambi says, oh no, Doug. See, Bambi says, are you okay? But I miss, Doug. Hey, Doug. Doug says, Ewas. I don't see it here. Oh, car accident. Oh, I hope you're okay, my friend. That bobber is gone. Gone. Got him. Yeah. Cool long-haired, folks. That's our another nice long-ear. That's our second long-ear of the day. 2 long-ears and 2 channel catfish so far today. Beautiful guy, my friends. Gorgeous colors on this guy. Absolutely wonderful. Check out those colors. Wonderful. Gotta love it, my friends. And that's enough for a thumbnail already. All right, buddy. Let's get the hook out of you and get you back in the water. Push right back on that hook. And there it is. See you, buddy. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciated. I'm sorry to hear about that, Ewas. I hope you're okay, my friend. Because any car accident can be a bad one. Quick. There's another carp jump over there. Making a fool of me today. Jumping left and right. I've tried pack bait style rigs in this lake. The only problem with pack bait style rigs is there's so many bluegill in this lake that they will literally tear your baits to pieces. I mean, they will clean that little stinker off faster than you can get them in and out. Wrap up the line. It's like clean my corn off too on this one. We've caught two big long ears and two channel catfish today. Bite on that one. We're sinking. Got him, folks. All right, that's our third. That's a smaller bluegill, but that's a regular bluegill. So 3 bluegill. 3 bluegill and a channel catfish. Gorgeous fish, my friends. That's a little 5-incher. That's bait size, but I ain't worrying about bait right now, folks. That's for sure. Full fish, it dropped temperature again. It's back in the low 80s. Cool guy, buddy. All right, buddy. Look out of you real quick. Get you back in the water. See, buddy. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Appreciated. We're finally starting to catch some fish, folks. Took us a while. We're finally starting to catch some. I'm just leaving the carp rods around, trying to hoping something will peel that line out. I'm keeping my eyes on them. I mean, every few seconds I'm looking over there to see if that line's moving. Usually they'll just take those suckers and run with them and dang near run across the lake. Usually I have like tons of time to get to them, but today they're just picking them up and dropping them. Running for about 8 or 10 feet and then quit. That's my last 50 cents, folks. Get a can of corn. See if I can get some big carp down here. And man, that wind picked up big time. Storm's pushing through. Ooh, that wind's flat cold. Jeez. Make sure I got my gear together just in case. Put the rod back out. We don't have much gear, you guys know, so gotta make sure it's all together. Yeah. There goes the tripod down. Dang it. Blew the tripod down for no reason. It's been sitting there perfectly all this time. Yeah, you can tell that wind picked up, folks. Sorry about that. I gotta make sure all my gear's ready to go here, folks, just in case. Again, sorry about that, folks. It's like you're on like nice, soft, cushiony grass. That didn't hurt too much. Woo! There goes the wind again. There goes another carp jump. Yeah, that wind's starting to blow, folks. Woo, that wind got cool. Sheesh. You don't think I wasn't kidding about the storms coming in. You got another thing coming. She just dropped 20 degrees out here. Where'd that bobber go? It's like it's gone again. It blew all my lines in. What am I going to do with this? Jeez, man. This one's got a fish on it, and this one's blew in right to the bank. Now it's the time I needed to wait on. But what we got? I knew there was a fish on there. I could feel it. That's our third channel catfish of the day, folks. Man, he wrapped me to heck fire. That wind blew me right into my other line. Let's see if I can get this off of here. Crap. Tell you what, it'd be easier to just retie my swivel. Show you guys this fish before. Look how lucky you guys. That quickly got out of lucky. Got off that quick. That's our third channel catfish. So we've got 3 bluegill and 3 channel catfish so far today. Hey, we're not getting the carp as of yet still, but we're catching fish. That's another keeper, a nice solid pound channel cat. Gorgeous fish, my friends. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. Check this guy out, folks. That's not a cat. That's not a kitten. That's just a... Look at him. He's talking to you guys. Alright, buddy. Yeah, I know better than to hold on to these guys. They got razor sharp sides, too. So, ow. Like I said, ooh, that stung. Let me get the hook out of you. Alright, hook is out. No muss. No fuss. No blood. Alright, buddy. See you. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Alright, let's get these rods back out. I'm not sure that first storm might have broke up. We might have just gotten the edge of that one. But there's more coming that direction too, so we might have missed that first one. I don't think we're going to miss the second one coming. We might have lucked out on that first storm. Seriously? Come on here. Alright, with this wind, I think I'll put the weight back on. That's just a little 1 to 16th ounce egg weight, folks. That's a really small egg weight. That's the smallest egg weight I've got in my box. The only reason why I'm putting that on is because that wind is going to blow me right into the bank if I don't. Assuming I get this little stupid thing through the eyes again. Yeah, I know how my eyes are. It's hard to tie a hook when you can't see the eye. You're basically feeling where the thing is. That's 3 channel catfish and 3 bluegill. We're up to 6 so far today, folks. Still feels tough. I was about ready to get my stuff together, and it looks like that first blunt, the stuff has passed by, but I'm pretty confident the second one is not going to, because the first one was over there, the second one is right there. So that second front is quite a bit further towards us. I also got to get my worm rod back out here too, folks, but hang on. working on it, folks. This stuff is being a little bit of a hassle today. We're trying our best, though. Right when that hits the bottom, lift that up real quick, make sure that doesn't stick. But even the smallest weight in these local ponds with the muck on the bottom, it's going to get snagged up. It's going to get stuck in that muck. You're not going to get anything. And that wind is going to be a pain because they won't be able to hold anything out here. Not without weight. Let's just cast this one in right by the bank. Right by the bank. I have to check this on the rod. I haven't done this in a couple minutes. Oh, that was a fish sitting there with it. That fish ran in with the bait. Normally, folks, if I'd be doing this technique, I'd be fishing down here and I'd be setting right here by the rod tips. Just staring at them as close as I can and focusing in on those rod tips in the line. And get to those bites as quick as I can. That wind died down again. All right, Roger set. Keep that chat. What's going on? Hope you guys are enjoying the show today. That's one storm front went by. See 10 incredible people in and 77 thumbs up. Awesome, folks. Chris says, we also cool off at 26 degrees Celsius. Let's see, Malik says, tonight we gotta get 11 degrees Celsius tonight. We also gonna get 22 degrees during the night over the next few days until Sunday. Sounds like she's gonna be sticky during the days. See, Bambi says, ooh, cool. 22 degrees Celsius isn't really all that cold. Now, it's comfortable. Got to remember, 22 degrees Celsius, 0 is freezing, Bambi. And it's like 2.8 degrees, 2.8 something for every, I forget the exact, so it's like 2 times 20. 45, 50 degrees. Doug says, there was a wreck noise across the pond where Mike's fishing, Bambi. Oh. Yeah, there's all kinds of accidents around here. I try not to. There's a lot of people running into, poles and crap down here. I want to mention what I love about. See, Bambi says, I wouldn't get out of bed. It's so hot here in Florida. Ewa says, nothing like fishing with a lightning rod in your hand. And like fishing when you're lightning rod in your hand. 11 people in and 78 thumbs up. Awesome, folks. Chris says, here also, Malik, hoping not to skate cloud again. He says, this is nice. No bugs too. Yeah, actually, this lake's not too bad for bugs. Insects, yeah, you got ants per se, but there's ants everywhere. There's ants out in front of your house. See, 16 people in and seeing 78 thumbs up. Bambi with the prayers. Bambi says, Pat Mike. Can't get killed by lightning. I've been hit by a whiting once. I don't want to risk it a second time, Mammy. Yeah, I don't want to risk the fates on that one. Yeah, Malik, I've been hit by lightning once. I dang near got hit by lightning a second time last winter. That was during a thunder snowstorm. See, I remember him saying that before. Malik says, that was down on the river, not the pond. Yeah, in here, in this location, if it started really bad, I get into the building over here. Yeah, there's a bathroom over here you can get inside of. It survived the tornado. It got part of the roof ripped off, but it survived. It's a solid rock building. It's an old style one. It's been there since like friggin' 1800 or something. Chris says, and now Mike knows don't make fun of Zeus. Oh, I would never make fun of Zeus. Hoo-hoo. No way. Nope. And he says, wow, crazy. He is out there all the time. Thank you, Bambi. I appreciate it, my friend. It's kind of that thing, once you faced it, And he says, woo. Actually, it knocked me on my butt for about, I think 5 or 6 minutes down on the river. It literally knocked me about 8 or 10 feet back. And I was just kind of in a daze, sitting there on the ground, just going, and I finally, because it was like, it was the pain, per se. Like your ears were, it was interesting day. Getting pixelated? Yeah. Looks okay to me. I can't see any breaks in my rods. Yeah, it might have been the wind there, Bambi. Doug, an accident. Ewa says, for what? Bambi says, yep, looks better now. Yeah, it was probably just the wind. Ewas with the, sorry about that. I tell you guys to wear your helmets, put your safety helmets on the moment you see the wind coming, because you're going to hit the ground. Let's see, rain is coming soon. It definitely is. Mike, don't tempt the weather. Get out of there before you are in it. I think we got a few more minutes here before I got to worry about it. I got everything packed up. So all I have to do is shut the camera off, grab my rods, get on my scooter and head home. We're about 8 minutes from my house, so we're good for now. See, Grant says, Mike, scroll up when you get a chance. Scroll up. What'd I miss? I don't see nothing. I can't find it. See, Doug says, gotcha, Malik. Chris says, aw. Bambi says, no Ewas. Bambi says, Bambi laughing her butt off. Doug says, time to take cover. Yeah, it's getting there. I'm keeping an eye on this stuff, folks. We're right smack dab in front of a storm. Let's see if we can keep her in another 10 minutes. That'll be 2 hours and 30 minutes. Oh, another big old carp jumping out there. Man, that was a big old carp jump. Bambi says, woo. Malik says, Mike caught a frog. Chris says, nice one. Ben says, big old cat daddy. See, Doug says, the fish are loving the weather. Oh, they are. That's one of the reasons why I don't want to stop fishing. I mean, just an idea of how many carp I've seen. There's like 50 carp in this one hole back here just doing backflips. Bambi says, hi, Ben. Chris says, Ben. Ben says, hi, all. How you doing today, Ben? Ben says, oh, Mike, that storm is just hanging north of y'all at Riverview. Ooh, that is pretty friggin' close, actually. If she stays over by Riverview, that's about 8 or 10 miles north of us. So if she stays that way, we should be fine. But I don't think it's going to stay that way. She's traveling. She's kind of traveling across the river and down her. So I think we're gonna have to. I'm gonna fish as long as I can, folks. Boss says, this is why metric doesn't work. Yeah, it's easier to understand if you're dealing with temperatures that are close to zero, like close to the freezing point. Now, close to the freezing point, close to the boiling point is much easier than standard. But yeah, I learned standard, so. Grant says, I think it's energy drink. Bambi says, oh, thank you. Bambi's laughing her butt off. Chris says, it's 109 degrees Fahrenheit here. I think you mean 99 degrees Fahrenheit. Let's see. Bambi says, right. Ice Cold Fisherman, how you doing today, my friend? Ice Cold says hi. Bambi says, whoa. Chris says, ice cold. Log says, Mike reading problems we had 5 minutes ago. Oh, boy. Ice Cold says, Malak. Bambi says, it was pixelated though, yeah, but Chris said it. Let's see, yep, Chris got the, thing for that one. Let's see, Malak says, ice cold. Bambi says, I didn't know he could, speak Dutch, Mike. Well, I can speak Klingon. Oh, no. Oh, I didn't read the last part there. 13 incredible people in and seeing 78 thumbs up. Awesome, folks. And I do appreciate all those gems, you guys. And that's helping me out so much. We're like $4 from breaking the $100 barrier. Stupid crawfish. Hey, gummit. Get off the... Crawfish. Got me in a rock again. There were like $94.89 this month. If you guys don't know this, YouTube doesn't even transfer money until you get over $100. Now, I already have an account that's got $600 on it from monetization from previous times before I had my ID. I'm still waiting for my stupid 6-digit or 3-digit with the code to come in from AdSense. Once I've got that, I can transfer that first load from YouTube. And I really, really want to get a inverter like Dustin has. That way I can put my supercharge. Hard to fish underneath the tree. About my key pole. Yeah, let's think. Knot it up around that tip. There's another carp jump. I'm standing in the way. Easier just to break off one of the lines and retie it. Problem is, it's such a small hook, I can't get a hold of it. Oh. There. Dog. Stubborn sucker fish. Sucker was being stubborn. And now the wind dies back down again. I put a weight on this one so I could hold out there, and now the freaking wind dies down again. That's out here right by the tip of this reed. That's right out there by that edge of the reed. Cast the line off the reel. We got crab on it. Time to put some more bait in the water, folks. As long as these storms are going to hold off, I'm going to fish. I haven't had these carp going nuts like this in a while. More bait in the water. One of the best times to recast is when you've just baited up a spot. While that stuff is sinking, a lot of times that's when the fish are going to hit. That was a close one on that first storm, folks, but I don't think we're going to miss the second one coming. I don't know how long we got until this second one comes in. Fish until we do. I don't know what I should put on this other rod for now. The worm's not really working great today. I think there might be some really aggressive bass or something in here kind of spooking them. Here comes the tractor, folks. Spinnerbait is in my thing, but I might be able to cast a rooster tail out here with my bait tail. I might get us a couple fish. You never know. Put her on. They're actually the smallest size. Well, they do sell one size smaller, but man, them little stickers are small. No one uses them with them like 4-pound pesters. So. Looks like something picking that one up. Something's pinging on it out there. I got that drag set really loose. Something pulls her. She's gonna peel that drag. Alright, that is tied on. See if Let me trim up this line. And I'll come check that chat before I go over here and cast this rooster tail around a bit. All right, that's trimmed. What's going on in chat? Lucy with the unicorn emojis, the heart emojis, and the rainbow emojis. And bass fishing, what's going on? How you doing, bass fishing? Bass fishing says MVP. Bambi says Lucy. Bambi says, hey, Bass. About time you got here. Chris says Bass. Bass says Chris. Bambi says, good thing YouTube made me tough. Bambi's laughing her butt off. Bass fishing says, stubborn, LOL. Yeah, oh boy. See, Bambi says, hand dug up American worms. See, 9 incredible people in. Let's see, and 82 thumbs up. Awesome, folks. And here's my backup account. I like to put her in at least once a feed. Give her a few reactions there. And there we go. Let's take this rooster tail caster around a bit. Yeah, that first storm went by, but I don't think we're going to miss the second one. We came pretty close to that one, too. Carp jumped left and right out here. Not the first cast. Like little baby fried stuff all over the place itself. Today we've caught 3 sound catfish and 3 bluegills so far. Hey, buddy. Damn pretty, buddy. Felt like a crappie. After that. know I had at least one of those carp out there. that chat. What's going on? You guys are enjoying the show today. See 11 incredible people in. AD, shoot thumbs up. Awesome, folks. Bambi says 2 channel catfish and 2 bluegill. You're pretty close, Bambi. We had 3 channel catfish and 3 bluegill. Yeah, if you wanna put that up, I'll pin that up, Bambi. See, Chris says, Michael. Bambi says, is that right, y'all? I would love if anyone would make it, please. Yeah, it was 3 channel catfish and 3 bluegill. So you were one behind it. Bambi's laughing her butt off. See, Bambi says, Chris, are they still breathing? I don't know. Y'all ready? Get chat line. But I think he supported to communicate. Bambi's laughing her butt off. All right. Close enough, my friend. There you go. Wonder if we can make her 3 hours out on here. I don't think so. My battery will take it, but I don't know. I'm not getting enough fish activity to keep everyone entertained. That bait's been cleaned pretty much. One or 2 kernels left on there. I can take a spinnerbait over here and cast it for a minute. You're by the head. You guys with me just for a second and then come right back. That'll give us a couple more minutes. I'd love to try a spinnerbait over here in the corner. I can set this up so that it'll be extremely light. That drag will peel out if something hits it. See that? Just barely move that thing and it's spinning out. Assuming I know where my spinnerbait is. Wasn't in my bag. Oh, I know where I put it. Yeah, I remember now. It's funny you remember. You put something somewhere so you don't lose it and you forget. Oh yeah, I put it in there. I remember. I was trying to be clever about it. Duh. Let me put on a spinnerbait real quick here. You know, our biggest bass come in this lake on spinnerbaits, crawfish patterns, and top waters. And I got a lot of line in that sucker. Our biggest bass so far in this lake this year has come on a Strike King mini spinnerbait. Just under 6 pounds. What is that? 6 point. Yeah, that was 5.882 or something. It's very close. 6 pounds. I'm gonna have to cut this stuff off this spinnerbait. It's got a lot of excess line on it. I cut it, I mean use a lighter and burn it off. So much easier doing that than freaking digging Another carp jump. Oh, those guys are a nuisance, aren't they, today? And it's not just one carp down here. It's usually like one carp making a ruckus. It's like 30 carp down here doing that today. And it still won't go through that hole. Sheesh. Fuck tight. Worst thing about getting old, folks, is my eyesight getting worse and worse. Physically, I've remained in shape. My eyes have gotten worse over the years. Alrighty. It's on. Alright, let's run you guys over with me. Take a couple quick casts over here. And we do have the drag set on these. Those rods, so that's open. You're gonna hear that sucker going zzz, zzz, zzz. If something hits it. I just want to take a few bass casts around this corner. Or crash over there. I hear what you saw saying now. Let's see, Kid, what's going on? How you doing, Kid? Kid says hi. Chris says no worries, Bambi. It's that time different that makes it harder. Bambi with the thumbs up. Chris says BRB. 14 incredible people in and seeing 84 thumbs up. Awesome, folks. Alright, let's take a few casts with this. Alright, this is one of our favorite little lures we like to cast around here. That's a little Strike King mini spinner bait, and tip that with a Strike King Rage Tail. Very, very effective. We've already caught dozens of bass on her, including over just under 6 pounds. Not grass. It wasn't a very good cast. First cast. I was still in the mindset of casting a rooster tail. I don't know about you guys, but I like my combos. The size and the weights that I've got, rod sizes, reel sizes, they seem to be the most versatile for the amount of fish that I can catch. Obviously, if I use the particular type of rod and reel combo, I get more of one species, less of another, but it seems to be like the perfect size for diversification of species. I like to go forward. We got our eyes on those rods, so they're going to see out if they get to get Here comes the rain, folks. We knew it was coming. She's starting to drizzle. And she's starting to come down now, folks. I didn't think we were going to miss this second storm. We got just probably a few minutes before probably have to shut this down. And those are some big droplets too. Let's see, kid with the thumbs up. And Grant says, man, I don't know how the storms missed you. It was literally 1 mile where you were fishing. The heck, this spinnerbait fishing is solid. Yep, I like my old spinnerbait. Like my little mini Colorado in this lake. She's a little mucky, but not too bad. I've used big Colorado blades in like super mucky water. Just start raining out, folks. Like there's another big old grab or something right in the lake. Telling folks, but they don't listen. They cannot grow and let a river get to the river and expect them to survive. I think this is it. Here's a opening of clouds over there. She's starting to pour down rain, folks. We've been in 2 hours and 51 minutes. Man, just a few more minutes, folks. Let's see if we can keep this going for just a few more. Just a few more minutes. Tell you what, I haven't done any cast on the other side of this tree over here by the bridge, past the reeds. Give me a chance to check these guys out. They still look okay. Let's touch them. Okay. And that's our scooter right there.
And man, this has grown up since the last time I was over here. Like, you can't even get a cast through this stuff anymore. Sheesh. I don't know if there's anywhere I can cast over here. This stuff is just... Yeah, this is growing up too bad. You can't even fish this stuff anymore. Dang. Let's see, Minnow, what's going on? How you doing, Minnow? Let's see, with the unicorn, the rainbow, and the heart emojis. Minnow says, Scooty Gang. Let's see, Bambi with the unicorns. And saying hi, Minnow. Minnow says hi. Alright, 13 incredible people in. Let's see, 83. Nope, that's 85. 85 thumbs up. I get a few cats here, but not many. Not much area to fish over here, I'm afraid. It's grown up way more than it was in the spring. We're just trying to get 3 hours in, folks. We don't have much longer to go. I didn't think I'd have much of an area to fish in this spot. It opens up over here on this other side. Yeah, she's pouring down rain pretty good right now, folks. All right, looking good. Let's see, 417 Only Fins. How you doing, Only Fins? Chris says, make you going to catch that carp. I've still got the rods over there. You and the 913. Chris says, yep, 86 likes. Can we make it to 100? 14 people in. It's seeing 87 thumbs up. Awesome, folks. Hope you guys are enjoying the show today. I don't think we're going to make it to 100, folks. I really don't. I think it's about ready to pour down on me. It's already pouring down rain on me. I think it's going to get worse here. Very soon. Sun's trying to come out. That's weird. It's pouring down rain on me. The sun's trying to come out. Huh? Dang. That's weird.
check our carp rods.
Oh, let's go check our carp rods again, folks. Yeah, weird. It's pouring down rain and the sun's popping out. That's not a good sign. That's the storms that went by, and that's the storms over here that are coming. When I put storms, I meant it, folks. On my on the name of our live feed today. Whew. Man, sprinkling rain and humidity is like 98%. It's like 89, 90 degrees out here right now still. Alright, let's see what's going on with these guys over here. Darn weird something over here. And there we are. Yeah, I don't mean to tap that like button. Yes, sir, my friends. Hope you're enjoying the show. We just got 2 more minutes before we get to the 3-hour mark. See, Bambi says, you don't mean double tap, that's green for me. Yep. And on to the next. And then right on. Chris says, yep, like and subscribe, my friends. Helps out the channel so much. Right out of the way so this truck don't drive over it. All right. 9 people in and 90 thumbs up. Awesome, folks. Almost made it to 100 today. I'm surprised. Caught 3 channel catfish so far. We caught 3 nice bluegill. So definitely not a bust as far as fishing is concerned. These local parks, if you're getting bites, you're doing something right. Pop that knock from the corn off the hook. As usual. Alright. And I'm surprised he did that. I usually get one smaller one. Stuff smaller than these spinnerbait. One of the smallest lures I've got. The only smaller thing I've got is a rooster tail. I tried it already. I think we've broken by 3 hours. Yeah, we definitely broken by 3 hours, folks. I hope you guys enjoyed the show today. 11 people still in and 91 thumbs up. I think we're going to call it for the day. These carp have kind of slowed down, and we've missed 2 storms already. I'm going to miss a 3rd. Yeah, these storms just keep getting inching closer and closer, and that's a pretty good pop on corn on the close rod. Maybe I should check that out. Mine's going slack on me. something running through the line. Yeah, I think we're going to call her, folks. 2 storms is enough for me. I don't think we're going to miss a third. We've been in 3 hours, caught 3 channel catfish, 3 pretty good bluegill. And thank you guys for coming in. Gabby, you're very welcome, Gabby. Bambi says, hey, girl. Yep. See you, people. Oh, you're fine, Bambi. Yeah, we made it, folks. Bambi with the I always appreciate you staying in, Bambi. Yeah, hope you guys enjoy the show. Yeah, pretty good day. I think it's a pretty fun day out here on the water with you guys. Thanks for all my moderators. Thank you, Bambi. Thank you, Chris. Thank you, Malik. Thank you, Ben. Thank you, Dan. Awesome, my friends. I'm just gonna have my old good luck. Stay safe. Hope to see you on the water, my friends. Keep doing what you love. Keep them lines tight. I'll see you on the next one. Have a great rest of your day, my friends. Thank you. Appreciate it. Bye.